Welcome to Louise's Wisdom, a space where ancient truths meet modern minds, and where the voice of Louise Hay continues to echo through the lives of those seeking healing, power, and self-worth. Today, we're diving into a question many silently ask themselves but few dare to voice. How do I become a person who is seen as a luxury, essential, irreplaceable, deeply valued, instead of just another option? It's not about arrogance. It's not about ego. It's about energy, about alignment, about the way you hold yourself in the world and the inner beliefs that shape your outer reality. Louise Hay often said, "We do not heal the past by dwelling there. We heal the past by living fully in the present." And when it comes to becoming a person who commands deep respect, attention, and admiration, not through force, but through presence, it starts from within. So much of how we are perceived by others stems from the way we perceive ourselves. If you walk into a room unsure of your worth, people will feel that. If you speak from a place of fear, hesitation, or comparison, you shrink energetically, and the world responds in kind. But if you carry yourself with quiet confidence, with the calm knowing that you are enough, you become magnetic. Louise taught that our thoughts create our reality. So let's ask, what thoughts do you allow to take root in your mind each day? Do you affirm your value? Or do you constantly look for external proof that you're worthy of love, of success, of recognition? To be seen as a luxury, you must first believe that you are one. And this is not a surface level belief. It's not about saying an affirmation once and hoping it sticks. It's about reprogramming your subconscious mind to stop settling, stop shrinking, stop apologizing for existing. You were not born to be tolerated. You were born to be celebrated. Louise reminded us that our inner dialogue becomes our outer experience. If you want to be seen as someone rare and radiant, you must tend to the garden of your mind like it holds priceless seeds. Every thought is a seed. If you plant, "I am not enough," you'll harvest relationships, careers, and friendships that echo that belief. But if you plant, "I am valuable, I am whole, I am deserving of the best life has to offer," the world will begin to mirror that back to you. People often ask, "How do I make others value me more?" But that's the wrong question. The right question is, how do I start valuing myself so deeply that others have no choice but to meet me at that level, or step aside? Energy doesn't lie. You don't have to prove your worth to anyone. You simply have to embody it. Louise often spoke of mirror work, standing in front of the mirror, looking into your own eyes, and affirming your truth. It may sound simple, even silly, but try it. Say to yourself, "I love you. I really, really love you." Watch what comes up. Resistance, tears, laughter. Good. That's the work. That's where your transformation begins. To be seen as a luxury, not an option, is to refuse to abandon yourself. It's to stop chasing love and instead become love. To stop seeking approval and instead live in alignment with your truth. The truth that says, "I am whole, I am worthy, I am already enough." This energy is rare, it's radiant, it's irresistible, because it doesn't beg, it simply is. Louise Hay believed healing is not just about the body or the emotions, but about returning to the deep truth of who we are. So many people operate from wounds, trying to prove something, trying to earn their space. But when you operate from healing, from wholeness, from knowing, you move differently. You speak differently. You attract differently. You don't need to do more to be valued. You need to remember who you are. This remembering, this sacred return to self, is what separates those who are seen as just another option from those who are recognized as a light, a presence, a luxury, and not because they have more, or do more, or try harder, but because they live aligned with the truth that they are already divine. Let Louise's words echo in your heart today. You have been criticizing yourself for years and it hasn't worked. Try approving of yourself and see what happens. Let's go even deeper. Being seen as a luxury. What does that really mean in the world we live in? It means becoming the kind of presence that people don't just notice, but remember. The kind of soul that brings such calm, depth, and authenticity into a room that others naturally feel drawn to it, not out of need, but out of reverence. It's not about aesthetics. It's not about labels or titles. It's about energetic value, emotional depth, spiritual magnetism. Louise Hay would often remind us that everything begins in the mind, but not just in the thoughts we casually entertain. It's in the unconscious patterns we absorbed as children. If you were taught that your worth depended on performance, perfection, or pleasing others, you may still be wearing those invisible chains, walking through life as if you need to earn your place. But what happens when you decide to take those chains off? When you finally say, I no longer exist to be chosen, I exist to choose myself? Luxury is spaciousness. And many people live emotionally cramped lives, cluttered with obligations, over-explaining, over-giving, constantly seeking permission. But a luxurious presence doesn't operate that way. It allows silence to speak. It allows boundaries to exist without guilt. It allows no to be a full sentence. There's grace in that kind of self-respect. You can always feel when someone has done the inner work. There's a softness to their power, a certainty in their voice, not loud, not performative, but deeply rooted. Louise's teachings remind us that power without love is domination, but power with love is liberation. And those who embody that, who walk with kindness and still command space, become unforgettable. If you want to be seen as something rare, stop trying to fit in. The world is already full of noise, of mimicry, of people following trends to be liked. But a luxurious soul doesn't chase the spotlight. It becomes the light. It doesn't copy the world. It radiates truth from within. And that truth, when fully embraced, becomes your most powerful signature. There's a deep peace that comes from no longer needing to prove anything. From walking into a room and not needing to impress, but simply to be. This kind of quiet strength creates the very aura that people associate with luxury. It's in the way you pause before speaking. It's in the clarity of your eyes when you listen. It's in the stillness of your spirit when others are caught in chaos. The people who are most magnetic often aren't the loudest. They're the ones most at peace with themselves. Louise Hay believed that when we release the need for approval, we make space for authentic connection. And that's the true luxury. Being deeply yourself and deeply loved not despite it, but because of it. The truth is, not everyone will recognize your value. Not everyone will understand your softness, your standards, your refusal to settle. And that's okay. Luxury is not meant to be accessible to everyone. It's not about exclusion, it's about discernment. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is walk away from what doesn't honor you, not out of spite, but out of self-devotion. Because when you know your worth, your silence is louder than any explanation. Your presence is more persuasive than any effort, and your life becomes an invitation, not to be consumed, but to be respected. If this message stirred something in you, if it reminded you of your worth, your power, or even the parts of you that you've been hiding, take a moment to share it in the comments. What part resonated the most? What belief are you ready to release? What truth about yourself are you ready to finally claim? Your words might be the very light someone else needs today. This is more than just a channel. It's a space for healing, reflection, and real connection. So let's open that space together. Drop your thoughts, your stories, or even just a few honest words below. I'll be reading, holding space, and walking this journey right alongside you.